always told me never to go into the basement. It was one of those steadfast family rules, the kind you don't question as a kid. Our house was old, and the basement was just a dark, stone-walled space with a dirt floor and a single bare light bulb that cast more shadows than light. It was where my dad kept his tools and old paint cans. It smelled like damp earth and rust. I was maybe 5 or 6 at the time, and I was a good kid. I listened. I never went down there until one afternoon. I was playing with my toys in the living room, right by the basement door, when I heard a noise. It was faint, a sort of scratching followed by a soft whimper. It sounded like a puppy. We didn't have a dog, and I had been begging my parents for one, for what felt like my entire life. My heart started beating fast. I thought maybe, just maybe, my dad had gotten me a surprise and was keeping it in the basement until my birthday. The whimpering came again, a little louder this time. I forgot all about the rule. All I could think about was the puppy. I crept over to the door. It was heavy, made of thick, dark wood. I turned the cold brass knob and pulled. It groaned open, just enough for me to slip through. The air that hit me was cold and musty. I stood at the top of the rickety wooden stairs, peering down into the gloom. "Hello?" I whispered. "Puppy?" The whimpering sound came from the far corner, the darkest part of the basement. I couldn't see anything. I took one step down, then another, my hand sliding along the gritty stone wall. The stairs creaked under my little sneakers. When I got to the bottom, my eyes started to adjust to the dim light. I still didn't see a puppy. I took a few more steps forward, towards the corner where the sound was coming from, and then I saw something. It wasn't a puppy, it was a boy. He was curled up on the dirt floor, facing the wall. He looked about my age, maybe a little older. He was making the whimpering noise. "Are you okay?" I asked. He didn't turn around. He just kept making that sound, like a sad little animal. I got a little closer. I thought maybe he was hurt. That's when my mum found me. I didn't even hear her come down the stairs. Suddenly her hands were on my shoulders, strong and tight. I gasped, and she yanked me back so hard I stumbled. She didn't say a word, just pulled me up the stairs and slammed the heavy door shut behind us. The sound of the deadbolt sliding into place echoed in the hallway. Then she yelled at me. My mum had never ever yelled at me before. Her face was pale and her eyes were wide with something I didn't understand. It wasn't just anger, it was fear. It made me sad, and I started to cry. A little while later, after she had calmed down, she gave me a cookie and hugged me tight. She made me promise, really promise, that I would never ever go into the basement again. And I did. I never broke that promise, but I never forgot. And even now, all these years later, I still wonder about the boy. I wonder why he was making noises like a puppy, and why he had no hands or feet.